Hey, it's Drew Neiser with another Tuesday tip. I just got off an amazing conversation about sports sponsorship and sports marketing with Gaurav Chan of Cognizant. And I wanted to spend a couple more minutes with him after we talked for like 50, just for a Tuesday tip on getting the most out of things to be thinking about before you jump into a sports sponsorship. So Gaurav, give us one tip.
Number one, do your due diligence. The due diligence is a really, really critical element of landing on the right sponsorship based on your strategy.
And so as we're doing this due diligence and we're saying, all right, most of the time you go into sports because you want to build awareness, you want to get a broader exposure to the folks that are fans of that sport. So let's say we're doing the due diligence on the PGA or the LPGA, and we're trying to figure out more. What else do we need to dive into to figure out? What does that look like?
All elements around what is the field for that tournament going to look like? What are the charitable associations associated with that? What are the values around that you can bring out? What's your employee participation going to be? There are elements outside of the obvious stuff about inviting clients, getting eyeballs, advertising and all. You have to look at it incredibly holistically.
Okay, so number one is do the due diligence to make sure you understand all the ways that you could possibly get value and contribute. What's number two?
Think beyond the sponsorship dollars. The sponsorship dollars is one element. Make sure you think about the activation of what it takes to truly create those memorable experiences.
Yeah, and I'm so glad you mentioned that point. As you and I talked, the old rule of thumb pretty much still applies, as I discovered on our show, that your investment on the sponsorship, the cost of buying it is 1x. You need 3x, maybe 2.5x, depending on it, to execute, to activate, to get all the value that Gaurav talked about, which is, not just customers and prospects and future awareness, but employees and so forth. If you want to get all that value, you're going to have to invest. Okay, what's tip number three?
Be bold and just be prepared to make or take educated risks.
My company is called Renegade, so I appreciate you doing that. I wish we had brought that up on the show because you took a big risk by investing in these sponsorships before you could even activate, because no one knew when you were coming out of COVID. So that was a big risk. But what other risks did you take along the way?
Aston Martin was a brand new team in F1. That was a key aspect of decision making. But the biggest risk is just the notion that around being bold and thinking the art of the possible around what you can do with the sponsorship, and then ultimately bringing that to fruition.
All right, so there are your three tips from Gaurav Chan of Cognizant on how to get the most out of your sports sponsorship. If you're a B2B CMO looking for amazing tips like this on a weekly basis, check out CMOHuddles.com. I'm Drew Neiser. That's your Tuesday tip. Peace out. If you want to hear the B2B marketing story that fueled these fantastic tips, be sure to check out our full conversation right here on Renegade Marketers Unite.